Hi Foffers, Coach Heather here with some nutritional strategies to help around this time. With all of us in self-isolation and socially distancing, we're finding some challenges, and I would like to offer you some suggestions on ways they might be able to work around those challenges. So firstly, let's talk about food availability. We're simply not able to get to the grocery store with the same frequency, and then when we do, there's not the same items there available to us. And of course, for most of us, we often eat out for many meals, right? We go away for lunch if we're at work, or we may have our breakfast at Pret, or we dine out a couple nights a week or one night a week, and all of those things are not really options for us right now. So we want to talk a little bit about strategies around that. Firstly, with not being able to find product or not being able to get to the grocery store as frequently, I want to suggest being open to trying new things. Here's an opportunity for you to try a new veg. Maybe they don't have green beans available, but there's a pile of fennel. Here's a chance for you to try using fennel to create a nice, healthy side dish. Or maybe you're not even interested in cooking, or it's been a long time since you cooked. This might be a great opportunity for you to try your hand at cooking. Try a new recipe. If you've never made curry at home, you're going to be amazed at how much tastier curry at home is than a takeaway curry. So finding new recipes online, there's an app called Supercook that you can use. If you can reverse engineer based on what you have in the house. So if you have these items, you put into Supercook and it will give you a recipe suggestion. Sharing recipes that you find on the closed Facebook group would be another great idea, so that we can all gain some new excitement around new dishes or new food items that we hadn't considered. I'm also going to suggest that food prep is a tool that you can use here to help, and I will talk a little bit more food prep in this video, but also going to be putting out a whole separate video about food prep because I think in and of itself it needs to be addressed. But going into a store and kind of having a rough idea of what you're looking for, maybe not specifics because of the nature of the lack of supply, but knowing what you're going to be going in for is going to be a helpful tool in a few of these issues that we have with dealing with self-isolation. The next issue I want to talk about is boredom eating. So this is different than emotional eating, which I will address in another video, but boredom eating is more kind of like, you're stuck in your house, you've got nothing better to do, you go into the kitchen and you just find yourself kind of mindlessly eating. One of the things you want to do there is simply just pause for a moment when you go to reach for the cabinet or you go to open the fridge. Mindfulness, right? It's a fancy word for, am I even hungry? Am I hungry? That's the first thing you should do, is just register whether or not you're hungry. For many of us, that will kind of stop us right there. We'll recognize that we're not actually hungry and just kind of carry on. But that's one of the first things you want to do. Think about that. Second tip would be to drink some water. It's been said that sometimes we misunderstand hunger signals for thirst signals, and we should be hydrating more anyways. So go ahead, drink some more water. It will also get you off to the loo more frequently, so you get some more of that NEAT, that non-exercise activity thermogenesis going on, so you're burning more calories. So what's the harm in that? Drink some more water. Another solution, again, for boredom eating is going to be food prep. So let's talk a little bit more about food prep as it pertains to food, having access to food, not having access to takeaway, and to boredom eating. So if you are prepared and you have what you need to in the house for the week or two, it's obviously going to help with routines. It's going to make it a little bit easier for you to have structure when you're used to having structure. It will take away the stress of not having food or having food. You know what you have. And also if you already know what you're having for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and available for snacks, you're much less likely to just kind of reach into the fridge and grab something, either because it's simply not there, you haven't bought a pint of ice cream because you planned and you prepped and there's not a pint of ice cream in the house, or because you know that you need that item for a dinner later in the week. So I would utilize food prep to help with all of these issues as well. As I said, I'll talk a little bit more in a separate video about food prep, but keeping these different tools in mind to help you kind of get through some of these challenges. And remember that all we can do is focus on what we can control. So using this opportunity to maybe learn how to cook, watch a documentary about cooking. I personally love the Cooked series. I think it's a great way to kind of learn about the history of food and also get you a little bit more excited about food. Find a new recipe, find a new love of cooking, and then please feel free to share those great recipes with us on the Feel the Fitness Facebook group.